Welcome to the First Time Home Buyers video. Today we're going to speak about what you need to get your first home. Remember, it's going to be one of the biggest assets you ever purchase in your life. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to need to do before purchasing a home or shopping for homes or anything like that is to know what you can afford. The way to do this is to get pre-approved for a mortgage. You can give us a call, we'll pre-approve you as a consultation. There's no fee involved. And what we do is we take a look at your credit, we take a look at your income, and we take a look at your savings. Then we determine exactly how much the bank can lend you that'll be affordable for you. Now, just because the bank is going to give you a certain amount of money, that doesn't mean that's what you should do. You have to take into account your style of life, your vacationing, how many times you eat out, a lot of things that your life is going to change after you do purchase a home. You don't want to stop going on vacation because you bought a home. You want to enjoy your life, you want to keep your quality of life as high as it can be, and still own your own home and your own savings in that home as that home appreciates in value and as you pay down your mortgage. So like I said, the first thing we're going to do is pre-approve you. So you'll come in, we'll pre-approve you based on your information. The next thing you're going to want to do after you're pre-approved and ready to go and you know what your monthly payment's going to be, ballpark, next thing you want to do is find yourself a realtor. Whether you know a realtor, whether one comes recommended to you, whether you have one in the family, whatever the case is, find a realtor, interview them, and make sure you get along with them and make sure that they can fit your style of when you need to look at homes, and they'll email you properties that you're looking to purchase, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to have a good relationship or a good rapport with the realtor that you're doing business with. Once you find a realtor, you'll start looking at properties. The biggest thing about properties is, when you walk in a home, pretty much people always tell me, they knew that was the home for them. That's the way you want to feel. You want to walk into the house and say, this is the one. Whether it's a starter house, whether it's a house that you're going to sell in 5 years, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that this house is the house for you, because once you buy it, that's it. It's your home. To go through selling it right away and all that other stuff could be a nightmare. So make sure it has the right bedroom count, make sure it has the right bath count, make sure it has a backyard if you want a backyard, make sure it's close to public transportation if that's what you need. Walk around the neighborhood, see where the schools are, see where the grocery store is. Everything that you're going to need on a daily basis, make sure it's involved with that home that you're going to purchase. Because once again, you don't want to purchase the home and then find out, you have to walk 4 miles to the store and you don't have a car, whatever the case is, you don't have a license. So it's very important. So after you find the home that you like, it's time to interview attorneys. You need to find an attorney who's going to represent you for the transaction. What I do recommend is, get a referral from somebody you trust and interview an attorney or two. It's not always about who's the cheapest. Sometimes you get what you pay for, especially when it comes to attorneys. So interview a bunch of attorneys. So now you're out shopping for a home. You know who the attorney's going to be when you do find a home. You walk into the house and you find the house you really want. At that point, you're going to put an offer in. The offer will be put in with the seller's realtor or the seller direct if they don't have a realtor, and it's going to go along with the pre-approval that the mortgage bank gives you. That pre-approval, for all intents and purposes, is almost as good as a commitment. That means you're pre-approved for a certain loan as long as you meet the criteria that was set forth when you did the pre-approval, meaning that you're still employed, you still have the money you were going to use for the down payment, et cetera, et cetera. At this point, you're going to go into contract. So your attorney's going to draw up the contract and send the contract to the seller. It's going to have everything in it that you need, any changes that have to be done from any type of inspection report, which I'll get to next. So the contract will go out, you'll sign the contract, the seller will sign the contract. In between all of this, or prior to all of this, you'll have an inspection done. You'll hire a licensed inspector to come in, inspect the home, make sure the roof's going to hold water, make sure the plumbing's good, the electric's good. They're going to do a full report on the house. This inspection report could also be a means of negotiating with the seller. If you found something that they didn't disclose, and you think the price of the house should be lower, it's a negotiation tactic. It's not saying that they can lower the price or they're going to lower it, but a lot of times you'll be able to negotiate with them. So once that's done and the contract is back, the inspection is done, you'll get from the bank documents. With us, it's e-signing. So what we basically do is we send an email to you and you set up an account where you e-sign all your documents. There's a lot of paperwork involved when you're getting a mortgage. E-signing your documents makes life a lot easier. All you have to do is log in and click, 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 and read the pertinent documentation that you really want to spend some time with. You could also print the file as well. So you'll set up an e-sign account. And the next thing that will happen is you'll get e-disclosures. E-disclosures basically will cover the whole aspect of the purchase of the house and any type of state and federal regulations that need to be signed off on by you. There's a lot of paperwork and it does get intense, but that's what your mortgage professional is there to help you with as far as the mortgage goes. So now you've signed your disclosures, you've sent them back. At this time, we'll be ordering an appraisal. What we do is we send the third-party appraiser out. The appraiser doesn't work directly for the bank. It's a third-party appraiser to make sure the house is worth exactly what you're buying it for. They'll go out, they'll do an appraisal, they'll make sure the house has the same value as the purchase price or the offer amount that you put in, and they'll issue that to the bank. The bank needs the appraisal because that's what we're sinking our teeth into, saying that the home is worth. So the appraisal will come back, the appraisal will get reviewed, the file will be processed with all the information you've given. I'll get to that in a second. The file will be processed and sent to underwriting. The underwriter will get the file, they'll validate everything in the file, and at that point, they're probably going to ask to update some documents. Because remember, some time has transpired where you might need an updated pay stub, an updated bank statement. If it's the end of the year, maybe an updated tax return, whatever the case is. The file will go to underwriting. In underwriting, they're going to review everything. So, when you first come in for the pre-approval, you're bringing your W-2s, your tax returns, your pay stubs, your bank statements, a ton of information that we'll request from you. Don't worry, you don't need to write this part down. And all of that documentation will follow the file to processing and to underwriting. Now, the underwriter at that point is going to fill in all the gaps, anything that might be missing, anything that needs to be explained. So remember, it's very important and vital that you get back to us or the underwriter as soon as possible. The sooner we can clear up any conditions or any issues with the file, the sooner we can close. So if you're looking to do a 30 or 60-day close, you're going to want to get that in rather quickly. For every day that goes by or every week that goes by, that's pushing your closing date out that much longer. So, we've gone through the pre-approval, we've gone through the realtor, we've gone through the attorney, we've gone through e-signing, and we've gone through disclosures. So now the underwriter issues a commitment. The commitment is a commitment to lend based on the information we have. So the bank is committing themselves at that point to giving you those funds based on any conditions that are on the commitment. One of the typical conditions that will be on the commitment at this time is a title report. The title report will come from your attorney. Once again, don't worry, they know they have to handle it. The title report and insurance. So at this point, you're going to shop around for homeowners insurance. Every home has to be insured for the full replacement of that home. So you'll call around to a bunch of brokers or a bunch of insurance people that already handle your accounts, and you'll get some prices from them. Then you can give us a call. We have some really good brokers that really come in at a very affordable price, and usually, I would say 9 out of 10 times they use the broker that we recommend because of that. Same premium, same coverage, the same exact thing, apples to apples. It's just that some insurance companies are cheaper to insure than others. So that's important at the end that you get a correct insurance because that's going to be in your monthly payment every month. At that point, underwriting clears the file to close. Then the file goes out, a copy of your closing disclosure will go out to your attorney, to you, and to your mortgage loan officer. We'll all review it, make sure everything's correct on that closing disclosure. We'll send it back, okay it, and they'll set a closing date. Sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? It's not if you're not communicating. So it's very key that you communicate with us, especially as a first-time home buyer. We have a whole series of videos that break all of this up in part, so you don't have to keep watching this long video every time you have a question that you need answered. So at that point, you'll just go to one of those videos. Just one important thing I'd like to leave off with is your interest rate. Everybody wants to know what their interest rate is, and interest rate is very important. You're going to be responsible for locking in your interest rate, meaning once your file is in processing, you can call us up and ask us what the rate is today, where we think rates are going, and what our opinion is. However, we can't say, oh, you have to. You're going to be the one who's going to lock in that rate. We need to make sure you're comfortable with the rate and you're comfortable with the payment. So it's very important throughout this process that we get locked in for the best rate we could get locked in at, based on the market conditions. If we had a crystal ball, we'd be able to know when rates are going up and when rates are going down. We're not afforded that luxury. So it's very important that you speak to us in regards to interest rates. That's basically it. That's the scope of first-time home buying. If you have any questions, you could give us a call, 718-869-4795, or you could email me at iCanRefi at AOL.com. That's ICANREFI at AOL.com. And feel free to check out some of our other videos in regards to rate lock, APR, and other things within the mortgage process. Thank you. Have a great day, and good luck shopping for your new home.